Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to more Total War Pharaoh Dynasties. Today I thought we could play a bit more with one of the Mesopotamian factions, namely Ninurta Apal Ekur.
Let the gods witness our greatness.
Which is the major Assyrian faction force to play in this campaign, and it was razor sharp in the poll I did in the community tab between Assyria and Troy. It was actually a tie, so I leaned towards Assyria. So as we did with Babylon yesterday, I thought we could do the same here. We're going to go through everything here, read everything, and check out this faction, what kind of units they have, their starting position, play for a few turns. And I'm going to treat this one as a This is Total War campaign. And as I said yesterday, always when I do a This is Total War campaign, I always do a couple of pre-playthroughs where I play a couple of turns just to see what's going on and try to make the gameplay a bit more effective in order to achieve success in that type of a challenge. So this is a kind of a playthrough where we are set to make mistakes and learn from them. So hope you guys will learn with me and are excited to check out this campaign as well. So let's begin. Ninurta Apal Ekur the Conqueror, driven by unfettered ambition and perhaps overconfidence, Ninurta plots to take the Assyrian throne, but his plans don't stop there. He seeks complete domination over any and all. He wants to crush neighboring Babylon and put it to heel for good, then march against Hatti and Canaan to the west, forging Assyria into the largest empire the world has ever seen. Ninurta believes himself infallible, a leader destined to lead his people into a new golden age. The truth is, he underestimates the challenges that such a grand dream entails. Starting situation, local deities. We have Ashur. The endless mountain cliffs are Ashur's face. The sun-baked city walls are his teeth. The snow-capped summits are his crown. The people of the city are his children. While Ashur reigns, none shall be homeless. We also have Ishtar and we also have Ninurta. For the native units, we have the Akkadian setup, similarly or exactly the same as we had with Babylon. So the farmers, hunters, they offer us some different options alongside the Akkadian horsemen. But if we turn down our attention towards the faction units, we have our own horsemen as well here. But starting off, we have Ashur militia, levies, some chariots, and then we have our very own Ashur horsemen. We have Assyrian sappers, we have Nineveh spearmen, we have Kalu chargers, we have Ashur Levi archers, Haran archers, Nineveh defenders, Kalu elite, and Ashur horse archers. For the faction buildings, we have the War Council recruitment cost minus 30% for own armies in the province regarding all units. Influence +2 to the province, we get minus 40% a construction cost for the building types, recruitment and military support. We also get the Palace of War. And as the name suggests, recruitment rank, influence, XP for our generals and recruitment cost for our generals all get some nice bonuses. And we have Defender's Fortress, which grants us some happiness +3, siege holdout time +4, labor cost minus 20%, ammunition +20%, and morale +10 for the own armies in the region. So good defensive type of building to hold on to those dearly and hard fought acquired territories. Oh my. Arena of Trials, recruitment slots +3 to the province and recruitment rank +6 own armies in the province regarding all units, and we have influence +2 to the province. So some interesting option here as well. Very much of the military monarchy Assyria was. But let's head over to the faction summary. So, strength and weaknesses unique to the faction. Yes, regarding the faction buildings, we have cheaper recruitments of units and generals. We have new generals gain and mount ancillary, and we have the military administration buildings are more expensive as a downside. So, and we did go through them, so we don't need to repeat that all again. So let's move on to the faction units. We are supposedly to have versatile melee units and access to cavalry, limited ranged units. It didn't seem like that at first glance, but maybe they aren't as good when you start comparing them to the other factions. I don't know, I haven't looked into them. So, as Ninurta Apal Ekur, your roster is versatile and has units for many combat situations. As at higher tiers, you'll get access to elite cavalry units. Use them to quickly flank your enemy if charged from the back. Assyrian sappers specialize in dealing damage to city gates. If you recruit them in your army, you will be able to start sieges without building any siege equipment. As we saw with Babylon, we had our very own sappers there as well. And you also have the access to Ashur horsemen, which can perform swift and devastating charges, cutting a swath through the enemy lines and moving away before sustaining heavy damage. I am a cavalry player. I really much enjoy my cavalry, so I guess Assyria seems to be the faction for me. Commands. As Ninurta Apal Ekur, your commands passively grants you military training every turn for each faction you're at war with. Yes, when you gain enough military training, your recruitment cost will be lowered. When you activate your command, you will spend the accumulated military training, increasing the rank of the units in the selected army and gaining an additional recruitment slot for that army. And this is also well suited to my playstyle, at least. You are benefited by being at war with factions, as you should. For the court, as Ninurta Apal Ekur, sorry if butchering any names here, feel free to correct me in the comments down below. You have access to the assassinate plot, regardless of your court position. You can use the collude intrigue to speed up your plots and increase their chances of success. Use these abilities in combination and you'll be able to free up any court position that you might desire. If we go over to the key concepts and start with the outpost, Shrines of Ninurta increases influence and add a bonus to the rank of newly recruited units in the region. And we can pray there to gain a bonus to charge for your units and decrease the reload time for your ranged units. Sounds really nice. And the fort can hold a garrison of units. Send your army to either add its units to the garrison or to add units from the garrison to your army. Native units. Yes. We have the Akkadian Hunters, Akkadian Horsemen. So we have some interesting native units, but I will get more to that once we get into the campaign. For titles, as Ninurta Apal Ekur, your titles will help you to amass bigger and stronger armies with bonuses to ranged and mounted units and to easily chase down slower and weaker enemies. Royal Tradition. So, as Ninurta Apal Ekur, you start in Mat Ashur and own 2 sacred Mesopotamian lands. To gain more legitimacy, expand your territory southeast toward Babylon and conquer the land between the river Tigris and Euphrates. So, same thing here, we can contest the crown or forge your own path when we come to that. As for worship, Ninurta. You can construct dwellings for the Mesopotamian gods you worship. These buildings provide additional bonuses based on the god they are dedicated to and add a small amount of favor. Shrines to Ninurta increase influence and add a bonus to the rank of newly recruited units in the region. So, if you saw the video yesterday, we are starting to see a pattern as the Mesopotamian factions, Assyria and Babylon, have a lot of these things in common. As example is the royal tradition, the contest of the crown, or forge your own pathways, for example. And as for the weather, of course, being in the same region and all, and in Mesopotamia they are usually dry air, often turns sweltering, especially in regions farther from the rivers. Mesopotamian warriors are well suited for that, wearing mostly light and medium armor. Some units are trained to fight in rain and thunderstorms, as they are likely to occur on the Fertile Crescent. So Dynasty, as Ninurta, you start with only Ninurta Pal Ikur in the ruling family. It is recommended you use arranged marriage quickly to produce children that can be scions and avoid inheritance problems. And I heard, let's stop here for just a tiny second, because I heard the developers speak about these things. So basically, if you don't marry and you don't get any children, and if your character dies, what happens? You will get sort of a generated faction leader, so the game won't end. But he also hinted that it was to come with some penalties to your lands. It would be interesting to see what kinds of penalties there are, but at the same time, I don't see it necessary to explore that, because you should just get married and start having children, shouldn't you? At least in that's recommended, I guess. So, Ancient Legacy. As Ninurta, you can choose the Ancient Legacy of Sargon the Great. You will have far more or have more control over your ambitions, and you will be able to take on more than one at a time. You will also have access to grand ambitions, awarding powerful boons. Quite a read through, but and these take some time, but I do enjoy having a look at them just to get the overview and get a feel on what the faction is about. But enough talking, let's embrace your ambition.
The Tigris River is a gift from the gods. Its waters nourish a civilization as old as ours. It gave life to many cities, with Ashur among the greatest. The Assyrians are formidable. United, their military prowess matches our own. But like any empire, they face trials both internal and external. This kingdom is rife with opportunists. One such leader, Ninurta Apol Ekur, considers himself superior to others and is seeking Assyria's throne. He must manage his Hittite neighbors, lest they bring his downfall. Yet he is belligerent and prefers war over diplomacy. Trouble comes from within too, taking advantage of Ninurta's vulnerability. Other Assyrian factions seek to claim territory and prestige at his expense. Expansion has even reached Babylon, a long-coveted prize for this warlike empire. However, they couldn't hold the city, famous for its defiance. The Assyrian Empire is under pressure from all directions. Stretched thin to maintain its dominance and beset by a leadership crisis. This is the perfect time for Ninurta to grab the throne and lead Assyria to glory, or destroy it utterly, should he fail.
Alright, so here we are on the campaign map, and firstly I just want to tilt the camera a bit. I always use the Nile as a sort of a vantage point, or whatever you say. So we can actually zoom out for a bit. So here we are. Even though the fog of war, we can see sorry about that. We can see the borders. We can extinguish the borders from the dead area of the map still. And we are actually Assyria, or Hanigalbat, which is the faction's name, is in a tough spot, I gotta say. We start out with these three regions over here, where we are lacking Shuhu, which is the fourth and final to unite the entire province of Hanigalbat. So to the south, we have Babylon, of course, and it would make most sense to go south and try to acquire all this territory, but it's some amount of territory to take on. So my first thought here when doing a if I would do a This is Total War campaign, I will do a full this Total War campaign with any of the factions here. We will probably do a poll later on. So if I would start a full campaign, this is Total War style with Assyria, I think we would probably need to unite the province and then kind of solidify and take a defensive posture to sort of develop the province properly before we have the slightest chance of getting out of here. And that could actually take a fairly long time before we could. So this is a really tough spot. We are... Every settlement is a frontier settlement. And good thing is, though, that I think it was Washukani already have the 3rd tier of the main settlement building, which is really good because that means we have a fair amount of garrison, or a fair amount. We have 9 units of garrison, and we can expand this, I think, with the guard tower to gain access to additional 2 spear units and 2 archer units. Actually, that would probably be one of my first moves. Then, if only we could hold on to this as its own, we could circle our general between Shadikani, which is the other small settlement, which only have the 1st tier here. That is not good.
Everything looks.
Same for our main city, Durkatlimo. Also the 1st tier. That is not good either. Only 6 men as 6 units as a garrison. That is not promising. That is not promising. So that will probably be our 2nd. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's initiate it. But we can't do that. We would need 2 idle workforce. We only have 1 left. Only have 1 left. So, but I think there actually is a possibility to circle the main army between Shadikani, Durkatlimo, and the 4th and final city of Sangaritu.
Assyria, most of all.
Especially if we would build like an outpost with granting some movement bonus. Anyways, we will get more into it. Let's have a quick look on the ruling family. As stated, it's only Ninurta, and it's highly recommended that we arrange a marriage straight away. So we have the button for that in the lower right corner, and we can select a spouse. And it costs 50 gold to do this, but we should also take note. 20 years of age, 27. How old is Ninurta himself? He's only 18, so he's a real youngster. So age is definitely a factor, I think, even though at this stage I don't think anyone has a clue on which age the women become infertile in game, so to speak. But we also have a bit of stats bonuses depending on which spouse we choose. So here we get presence, fortitude, ardor +1. Chance of having children, that's a major factor of course, +14%. Marriage eligibility +6. And here we have, -2 to that one. I'm not really sure actually how that's going to affect other stuff. So we get more fortitude, 4% of having a child. But honestly, even though I'm just going to call her Tashmi is slightly older. She comes off as more favorable to marry. So let's marry her. Nice. Let's just await the children to arrive. So for royal decrees, this tree is a Mesopotamian tree, so exactly the same as the Babylonian one. And if you saw yesterday's video, I went for this chain right here. And as I also said yesterday, I will probably make a separate video about this topic, but I really like the military chain, and all this stuff alongside here makes a difference, because there's a lot of things in the royal decree tree that's actually quite useless. And even if you have something good like I don't have a good example right now, but there's always something in between that's not that favorable, in my opinion. So like this one, honestly, raiding income plus 20%, that's I don't ever raid, so that's useless for me. But if you are raiding a lot and utilize that as a thing, of course this is also interesting for you. And siege holdout time plus 2 faction wide. Yeah, not hugely important. Not worthless, but not as important as other stuff. I prefer like getting more XP from battles to get my army strong. I prefer an extra recruitment slots to be able to recruit when I need to. Upkeep, recruitment cost reduction, recruitment rank, recruitment cost, reduced upkeep for tier 5 units, and finally for every single tier minus 8% in upkeep. I think this is a good chain. I think this one is superior. But it also depends on your playstyle, of course. And victory objectives. Yes. Nothing really to see here. We need to... Yeah, we need to expand and conquer in order to achieve victory. Diplomacy, we're going to get dug into that one as well. The local deities is unlocked and on turn 3. This is actually one thing they have tweaked. I think this was unlocked at turn 6. And I think also here, like the path to power, unlocked at turn 12. And that has to do that a year is only 3 turns now. I think it was like I think it was 6 before, or it was 4 before. And it's now divided in spring, summer, and winter. So they have leaned away the Egyptian ones. I think they stated something. Making it to spring, summer, and winter seasons all over made more sense, and I don't mind it. And it's actually kind of thing. This is easily forgotten that each season has its own benefits. So like in spring we get more replenishment, more production. During the summer we get more food and wood, more movement at sea, more workforce growth. And during the winter we get more food from shadow farms and stuff like that, and reduce the recruitment cost for native units. And the happiness is lowered temporarily by -1. So let's before we need to get a fight going, I think. So this is our first pick, the Shuhu, the enemy. And this is so we are kind of inclined to unite the province. And I like that idea. I think that one makes most sense.
A fight! Yes!
Of course, we could go with an auto-resolve here, but I want to explore the fight and see the units in action for a bit. Check out the Ashur horsemen, of course. So, let's go in. Alright, weather condition. We have a fog forecast. That is fine, because this won't last that very long. We actually start with a tiny bit of a high ground. Oh.
We are not destined for Irkana yet.
Don't think in some local areas at least. So don't see the entire enemy. So the rework of visibility making it itself known, something like that. And yeah, kind of makes sense. We have a bit of forest area here covering our visibility, some hills. So yes, it makes sense. And so far, I enjoy, or I approve this adjustment, because visibility is a huge thing. So of course, that inclines you to be more thoughtful on where you place your units in order to get best visibility and get a bit of an edge. But let us think. Okay, we start off with 2 Ashore Levy archers. And here we have this. We can switch between the direct and arching shot, or just go with a mixed one, where it will switch automatically. And we saw in a battle yesterday that the unit itself can actually mix those shots. So some units go with an arching shot and some of them go with a direct shot, depending on how they see the enemy. I really like that. I really like that, because I was kind of afraid that if you that they can only go either all arching or only direct, but they could actually mix those shots within the unit. I think we're going to stay with the mixed shot first, at least. So we have the Ashore Levies. This is our strongest unit here, and then we have some Ashore Militia. They're all actually quite decent, and I guess this stance is fairly okay as well. As for our hero, he's also... Let's place him here. I would like to try to... let's start fighting. We have the Acadian Militia, Acadian Farmers.
Spur the horses.
More Acadian Farmers. Gonna stretch these lines out quite much. Go. Let's set you up. Let's get rid of that overlay as well.
Shoot now.
Well.
Set forth. On we go.
Very, very slow.
Moment. Ride on. Follow one.
Start going around. Shit.
Break them. Make the gods proud.
I think we need to give him a good charge. And now let's switch you to the direct shots.
Yes. Burn the horses.
Start firing on him. I think we broke one of them. Hold. Okay, we need to smack him up as well. This is actually quite tricky. Oh, you can't fire, can you? Okay, now give those Acadian Farmers a good charge. And then you go. Actually, Ninorta moves really, really slow. 27, okay. It's okay.
Shift out.
Okay, got them on the run.
On the move. Put their eyes out.
Now shoot that guy.
Kill, crush, and
Let's see if we could get a nice charge. I want to see them live. I want to see a proper charge. Ah, no, it's about to be broken. Okay, that's a victory. I forgot to do the close-ups in the beginning of our units. This looks quite cool. And if you're wondering about the blood, this wasn't included in the build we got, but it will be included in the final release. Okay, let's end the fight. Decisive. Okay, so a decent first fight. Decisive victory like this is the one we need, and as always, getting some good XP and food and all that good stuff. So let's just have a quick look on the damage done. Actually, the cavalry, that is not too shabby. 347 kills. And Ninorta as well, 198. Overall nice, and we should definitely add to the treasury here on, I think. Okay, so we got a common small shield and an Egyptian consort. Okay, character affairs. Also, of course, ranked up.
Assyria and its people, for I am their savior.
Yeah, we don't use the shield. So I could probably see. Okay, we can get him up to a royal chariot. Why not? And then we get the Egyptian consort, diplomatic relations +5. We don't really need that during this is Total War, but okay. So we start off with a lot of order, which grants us a bit more movement and a bit of a charge bonus as well. Actually, we only have 1 here on presence, 0 on fortitude, and I enjoy fortitude. I've been thinking about it ever more since the Babylonian episode, and while going for that route on the royal decree, I think going fortitude here to get the replenishment and battle loot is some good stuff. So let's stick with that. I got a question also yesterday if the generals is different in any way, and more or less yes or no, depending how you see it. Regarding like this stuff right here, they're completely the same, just different starting position, with the points being one could have like 3 in presence and 1 in fortitude, and in Urta here has 4 in Ada and 1 in presence to start with. So those things just differ, but it looks the same. But acquired traits, the traits is going to differ, of course, and the gear is going to differ, of course. So that's what is going to really separate the generals apart. So, okay.
He wants me? Well,
we have yet another one. We should be able to take him on our path down there.
Your heartless cause revolts me. You shall not influence me.
Let's have a look.
What now?
This is very much more even odds. This is actually quite dangerous. Quite dangerous fight. But as I said, this is the time where we should make the mistakes and try itself out. But we are up against 3 Akkadian farmers, some Akkadian skirmishers, 1 Akkadian militia, and Irku Anunitum. A Cadmean victory is predicted. Let's see if we could turn it into something better. Okay guys, welcome to the battle map. So let's, before I forget, let's have a quick look on the chariots, which we got acquired directly actually. I think they look good. Some nice details, and honestly, I don't think they look all that shiny anymore. The armor, that is. That was one of my criticism on the appearance of the soldiers. Okay, cool. Let's also have a look on cavalry. Also quite cool. There's a nice variation. That's of course, it's also depending a bit on the unit detail you choose in the graphics, but in the graphic settings. But here we have some different variations of shields, different color on the horses. I see 3 variations of helmets, I think. Okay, I think they look quite good actually. All right then. All right, let's begin. I'm quite scared of this fight, honestly. Don't see the enemy. Let's get you into hiding. We need... We really need to find a way to get the general in order to win this fight, I think. Okay, here we have one. We have a limited visibility because of this hill. Okay, some Acadian farmers. Looks like we need to tilt you a bit. Actually even pull you back even. Okay, so we have the Acadian skirmishers. See if we could... No. Get away from them. I need you to firing a couple of shots.
Move order.
Actually, go and charge them. And I think we need to try to sort of
shift out.
Oh shit.
Step by step.
Shit.
Cross over there. Archers, fire.
Go with the skirmishes.
Take them on. Witness Assyria's might.
And you should go with the direct shots there. I think you are. Ninurta, you are in a dangerous spot now, I think. You get a nice... Yeah, he's actually shaking, but I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough, boys.
Engage combat.
Okay. We need to desperately get a charge here, I think. No, maybe not yet. Go around. Yes, shoot the bastard. Come on. Okay, he's... Okay, nice. Now go for him. Go.
That way. Get to there.
Don't get caught.
There. Head there.
Oh, nice victory. Got the general. Poof. Felt like the success there was a bit of divide and conquer, and actually using the chariots as charges. I'm not too comfortable with chariots, with their movement, how they move. But yeah, honestly, let's continue chasing them down. Alright, so we turned the predicted Cadmean victory into a close one. I think we need to be happy with that. That could very easily have gotten wrong. So one lesson learned here is at the first fight you really need to perform at least a decisive. I would say as good as you possibly can if you intend to take this fight straight away. But still, we only lost 139. They lost almost the entire army. Really nice to have some cavalry to chase down some units with. I can't say that enough. Our Levy archers performed really well. Ninurta himself performed really well. Overall, there was quite an even spread. Ashur militia, yeah, they are what they are. They are just kind of a meat wall. Now, I actually think we'll grab the 8%.
Lessers deserve less. Nothing less than perfect.
I thought we killed them all, but apparently not.
I will not bow. Glory to Assyria and its people.
They really are
I am their savior.
basically gone. But do not really dare. Or should we try? Should we try to just make a run for the settlement? But we won't replenish. And if we chase after him, we won't have the movement points
Nothing passes me
to
by.
get back across.
I seek strong warriors.
Yeah, you do. So I'm going to chicken out for a bit and move back
Warriors. Expedite.
just across the border. Well, I won't be able to reach the entire
I
thing.
do this for Assyria.
So we ranked up yet another. So let's get the second one. I realized we can get this one. More ammunition in the meantime. While we wait for this to get 10% replenishment. But we need one more point. Need one more point. Okay, nice. That was our first
What
fight.
now?
So as local recruitment, we have Akkadian farmers and Akkadian hunters available on the get-go. We also have Ashur militia, Ashur levy, and the Ashur levy archers. So I think we should go with the Ashur levy. They're a bit more expensive.
Gather more warriors.
We can get
Strength,
3.
honor, discipline.
Let's get 2 and
A warrior's spirit
one
is a
more
must.
archer. I would start with that just to get a solid army. Food wise, we are on plus 500, so we will be able to recruit a couple of units and still be on the plus side of things. As for pending action, what do we have left? We have some, of course, the outpost and construction available. So we are building the main building here. We are building this one as well. We cannot initiate a commandment. So thing is, would we, if we could just find any building that provide, which was the building? I've seen it before. Yeah, we have the midwife house that provide workforce growth. That's the thing I'm looking for. So that's one option. That's one option. That's influence. Movement on land, no. Production on resources. I think that's the only one. These are military support recruitment. None of them. These are just gold, bronze, or wood. Wood income. It's a wooden settlement. Makes sense. A dwelling of Ninurta, of course. Ammunition on recruitment plus 5%. That's not a bad thing, actually. Yep, so that begs a question. Because military-wise then, well, I have been looking on this very much back and forth now. And to start with, the Great Mustering Hall here, even though, because I find it kind of annoying that it's in the minor settlement, so that's being limited further down the road. But the third tier here, with the Ashur Horsemen, the Cavalry Chargers, and the Nineveh Spearmen, provides all we need for a strong first army. But there is a but. Later on, we would definitely want to go for the Ashur Horsemen over here. So, cavalry building, we would also like to go for the practice range in order to get the upgraded Harran archers eventually. And as well as this building chain right here, the militia barracks, military compound. I will probably just leave out on a native muster field. I don't see how these armies can provide us with any better than the ones we have on the first 3 chains here. So if we get these 3 chains, we have a complete army late game as well. But this is a long way off. A long way off. So therefore, I think we're just better off aiming to get that last idle, to get the workforce we need in order to get the second one up here. So in the meantime though, we can make do, and we should go for midwife's wife. So, or midwife's house, not midwife's wife. Because we need to boost the growth as much as possible. Okay, nice stuff. So only one thing to do before we end the turn, and that is a bit of diplomacy, and I will kind of skip through here because this is Total War Challenge, means that we need to declare a war on every faction the first turn we encounter them and never negotiate a peace treaty. So I'm going to explore if we can get some barter agreements, even though that might not be necessary because we have some stone income, but some extra stone or whatever we can, if we could get a good bargain or barter somewhere would be possibly nice. And then we're going to declare war on everyone and see how they act. So we'll be back in a bit. Alright, so that's the last faction. We are at war even with Assyria itself, even though they are our brothers. Okay, so let's we got a few then. Oh, I got the longsword. Alright, let's end the turn. Okay, so not much movement
Your heartless cause
besides this guy, but he, yeah, good luck, I say to you.
Of Assyria.
You know what, let's just,
Everyone prospers. Assyria, most of all.
well, how
Touch me with
about
a
that?
blade or not at all.
Kirata, they are in stance
Touching me
march.
costs a hand.
Stance ready.
My allegiance is to my men.
I think that's the only settlement they have, right? Some of these faction emblems are so similar. Like this one, faction Mari. And this is the faction Suhu. But at first glance, the colors are the same. So it's very easy to confuse them. Very, very easy to confuse them. I do not like that. Okay, so move him as close as we can. And that's pretty much the only thing we can do. The only thing we can do. Now we get more workforce growth. Want to get that, of course, as far. And this is a wood region. Well, Shukani is the food one. And we already have this one. More workforce growth. That's maximized as well. That's one thing we could we even go for 2 of them? No, we can't. Of course we can't. We have the water well as well. We could go for that, just to increase the workforce growth in the province. I am tempted. I am tempted indeed. This do cost some stone. But it's a very high priority. to get this one up as well as fast as possible, because you don't have many turns until there will be swarming with enemies. That is really the case. So I think that one building to just get us a +4, and once we get the settlement here we can get the commandment as well. I think that's what we're going to go for, so I'll save up. Let's save up the stuff because we're going to need it. As for outposts, of course, we didn't really check them out, but I'm more hesitant to start building outposts. I don't want to do it too fast. But what we do have a Shrine of Ninurta over here. So interacting, it's a fairly good position for it actually. Interacting with it will give us a bit of movement back. We have this one. That's actually provided one outpost garrison. Allows home to exchange units, of course. It's not that many. That one over here, very exposed position. This one as well is really exposed. That too is really exposed. Everyone is really exposed. So these ones will just get destroyed. That one will surely get destroyed. This might be of use. This might be of use. Yeah, we already have that, but I think we should get that. Get a strong garrison. Get a strong garrison over there. We can try it at least. We can try it, but every single one is really on really exposed places. This one though might be a one that we could spare. And this one as well. So yeah, onwards to take that settlement. I don't think we know about any new factions in this short amount of time. We are at war with everyone, so let's get going. Alright, they actually interact with us. This will be a fairly easy fight, I think. Let's do it. And we shut their archers down.
Make the gods proud!
So he's only broken. Let's see. Let's get that unit card back, the Luvian Spearman. Let's have a look on the morale. So when the generals... We need to see the general dead. Then we will actually see... Oh shit. I think we should probably move back. There, he's dead. Then we turn over to the morale. We see general recently died. -25. And that's when the rest of them breaks. Alright, nice. Let's see how it looks.
To Assyria and its people.
Ah, shit. I should have stayed with the first one. Current weather, fog, and we have a forecast storm, which will reduce range, accuracy, and reload time for all kinds of units. So, let's have a look on the settlement. Well, the settlements in itself looks really nice. I'm just lacking just a tiny bit of civilians to make it feel more alive. That would such a small additions that would have been a huge made a huge impact. All right, let's begin. We have the horses over on this side just to get some of their attention. Some mud here. So our main point of entry is definitely here. And that's why I've decided to get my archers close here. Well, they're dead. Oh!
Shoot now! Step by step. On we go. Strike now. On the move.
Ah, go, go, go.
March.
I was too late on the ball here. Oh, you can start moving in, honestly. I think you could start moving in as well.
Primed for battle.
Ah, he's broken. Yes, well.
Tremble before us. Time to move. Death from above.
Yeah, shoot the bastards. You are down to 94. You can stay on them. I want to have you moving in here instead. Same thing with you. Okay. Oh, that's Arcadian farmers.
Proceed.
Let fly.
No hesitation. God bless our bones.
Okay, perfect. Let's switch over the archers towards to here.
We march. Groomed for success. We
Start
march.
going around.
Give the order.
Send the volley.
Oh, well, you can start shooting at him.
Strike with
What?
precision.
Are we getting...
Blades.
Oh, no, he's dead.
Marksman. Time to move.
I wonder if we actually put ourselves into friendly fire position there, because they broke so quickly.
Death from above.
I really wonder.
Withdraw now.
Fight with pride. That way.
Oh, come on.
Get to there.
Let's turn inside. They really got destroyed. Milan was broken.
We march.
On we go.
Guys, move forward. Oh, shit.
Set forth.
That's what you get with the reduced visibility.
Cross over there.
Go, 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 go. Counter charge.
God's proud. On the move.
Let's see if we could go around this guy.
Step by step.
We must adjust our tactics for the storm.
And now let's make sure. Let's get the arching shot.
I was
Get
born
those
for
Arcadian
this.
farmers. Okay, he's dead.
Blades. Let fly.
Oh, but he's still steady.
Now!
Clubs.
They're fighting quite well.
On the move.
Step by step.
All right, victory. Okay, close victory.
Warriors,
So sword
this
as
victory is ours.
first reaction to, or not really a first reaction, but an initial reaction to offensive sieges. I got a feeling that they are going to be a bit more trickier with the reduced visibility rework. That you're going to get caught off guard and or caught by surprise on several occasions compared to before. Overall, that's something I welcome. We would like to straight up occupy this.
I
We
want
don't
order
want to
here.
penalize the settlement in itself. Alright guys, it's time to wrap today's video up. I want to thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave that like if you did. All the support is greatly appreciated. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And for God's heaven's sake, subscribe if you haven't. Know that 50% of all the revenue on this channel is going towards This is Total War for Suicide Zero. So not only are you supporting my channel, you're also supporting a good cause. Until next one, have a good one.